Hospital porters, pride and dignity. Stop the New World Order. Welcome to Panwo TV. Well, I'm doing this shot here in this park. Literally 1 week, almost exactly 1 week after I last did a shot in this park, on the same day, around about the same time, Friday, sort of midday-ish, or slightly later. But that was when I was going off to the UFO Academy. Today I'm going somewhere else, but it's also UFO related. I'm actually going to Rendlesham Forest. I'm actually going now. I've been talking about this for a while, but Gary Heseltine, he's doing a live tour of the area, and I'm going on it. So that's what I'm going to be up to this weekend. I'm here in South Park, and now I'm heading, as before, I'm heading for the coach stop to catch my coach to London. And from London then I head towards the area of Rendlesham Forest. So if you care to accompany me, I'm sure we'll have fun. I'm back in London. It's just gone 4 p.m, which means it's rush hour. So I'm about to experience a London rush hour, something I don't often do and deliberately try to avoid, but well, it's the only way I can fit it in with my work today. So I'm going to now head for Liverpool Street Station, which is where the trains to the sort of the area I'm going to, east of England, is where they leave from. Shouldn't be quite difficult actually, because I just go on the Circle line, so I shouldn't even need to change. So I'll go in there to Victoria, and I will top my. I know I can top my oyster up now with the Nazi currency of cash, so I'm going to use that, Sieg Heil, and then I'm going to head for Liverpool Street Station. Okay, yeah, this is Victoria Circle line and District line platform. See, it's all packed here. I was going along the little corridor from where you go in, and I'll tell you what, there were people literally running. And I was like, if you walk along at a normal pace, everyone's like trying to get out of my way, that kind of thing. You see the difference in design. You see, like this, it doesn't have an arched roof because these tunnels are much shallower than the other lines we went on earlier.
Next train will be District Line service, calling at all stations to use parking. Please stand behind the yellow line as the train approaches.
They're much shallower than the other lines because they're basically cut and cover lines. So in fact, when you're sitting in the pub up there, you can actually hear the noise of these trains on these shallow tunnels going through. So literally, like the roof of the tunnel. Look at that, man! I wonder, will the one I'm getting on be that busy? The roof of the tunnel's literally just right above that is the street. Oh, cool. Look at that, look at that. I hope the one I'm going to be on is not quite up. Anyway, I will get back to you when I'm on the train. There we are. It doesn't look quite so busy, it's the last one. There's still a lot here. Here we go. This is your... It's almost the same kind of train as the Overground, except it's slightly narrower, but you can see a difference. Hey, look, where we go. You've got to be careful not to stare at people, because you can actually get arrested for staring now on the Underground. I talked about that on my previous video. Alright, here I am in a little slot in East London. I should point out actually, I don't know, I assume the people who brought tickets for the event I'm going to, Rendlesham Forest, are going to turn up, but I think you'll find that the Lionesses getting through to the final of the Women's World Cup means a lot of people will be watching the football. But anyway, not me. I'm now heading into the Twin Pillars of Yakin and Boaz. It's a Masonic temple. No, it's also, it might well be. There's also a railway station, Liverpool Street Railway Station. And I've actually been to this a few times when I was a kid, because sometimes when I went to the Netherlands to see my family, we would go by train, and this was the train, this was always the station we went to. We actually went from Paddington along the Circle District to Liverpool Street. Now, when I was Yeah, this is it. When I remember it well. Yeah, sure, I forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, this station serves the whole east of England, so it's very busy. Obviously, it's the kind of commuter belt, so a lot of people go that way. Now I've got to try and find a way to buy a ticket with cash. Let's hope I can. Oh, I am such a cynic. I really am. Anyway, this is it. Not that I remember it much. It's changed a lot over the years. And it was a long time ago that I went to the Netherlands with my family, a very long time ago. And it was a part of my life I don't remember very well anyway, so here it is.
Sorted.
Yeah, I'm on the train. Yeah, it's a £54 return. What a rip-off. Anyway, it's only an hour's journey. But we're making our way through east of England. There's Chelmsford. That's nice, isn't it? Okay, guys, I'm at Ipswich. Just came through that tunnel there. This is Suffolk's only city, and I'm pleased to say it has a traditional style architecture here. They haven't done it up, so it still looks nice and old. I've got to meet my friend Derek. Remember Derek Savoury? He was how long ago was it that I last came here and saw Derek? Honestly, I think it was 2014. Was that long ago? God, it doesn't feel that long. You remember that one, the one with old Dr. Johnson Reed, and Derek gave his own tour of the forest. Yeah, so now just going to find a way out, and then Derek should be waiting for me. It's nice to be back here. I think I haven't been back here since. That's right. That's 9 years ago. Blimey. Anyway, see this is all 19th century, these roofs and this brickwork. You can see actually, well, you can't see it here because this has been done up, but it's actually, do you see this? The mortar between the bricks, look at the colour of it. That's caused by decades of exposure to soot from steam locomotives. That's how you can tell a really old station. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I've just left Ipswich in this car, and I'm with Derek Savoury. Hey, Derek.
How you doing?
Yeah.
All right?
Do you remember him from the video where Derek did his tour of Rendlesham Forest? Yeah, I'll put a link in the description box to that, because Gary's doing a tour tomorrow. This is the event I'm going to go to, Gary Hasseltine. But Derek did one himself, which is very good. All those years ago, I remember, it was 9 years ago, but I remember it very well. So Derek, it's great to be back with you again.
It's always good to have you here, Ben. Always good to have you here.
Thanks, mate. Well, I'm sitting in Derek's car. He's just gone into the fish and chip shop because we're going to have some fish and chips. So he says, got to get there before the chippy shuts, and he has. He's told me a remarkable story, actually, and I mean, I hope he'll let me say it on camera because it relates to the forest and it's quite strange. And he does have some weird experiences, as he explained in the last video we did together. So hopefully I'll be able to tell the story with him over the weekend. But he's still in touch with some other people, like Brenda Butler. She still is in touch with him, and other people within the groups. There's a very active group around here of mediums, ufologists, people who explore the woods together and things like that. So hopefully I'll be meeting some of them this weekend. Good morning, it's Saturday morning. I'm here with Derek. We sort of got up quite early this morning. We went to bed quite early, actually. I was actually bed before 11 o'clock. I was before 10 o'clock, actually. I was really tired. Just watching Ross Coulthard at the moment. And the sun has risen, and we're now waiting to head off to Rendlesham Forest. Okay, we're heading off to Rendlesham Forest with Derek here. It is Saturday morning, and we'll see what today brings us. Is it true that you've been banned from part of Rendlesham Forest?
Yes, that is true. I was doing healing in an area in Rendlesham Forest, and I got a message through from Spirit that I was going to be shut down, and sure enough I have been. And you'll see when we drive past, they've actually, not that they closed me down, they've blocked off that particular part of the forest, the whole of Rendlesham Forest, and my little bit that I was doing healing in. They've put signs up, they've put barriers up, they've put very great poles of soil up to stop people entering. And you'll film it as we go past.
We'll see in a minute, yeah. That's bad. I mean, I did hear from on good authority that the campsite in the middle of the forest is shut, which is a shame because I mean I've always planned to go and stay there. I know a lot of the ufologists go and stay there, as well as other people like dirt bikers and people like that, and cyclists. Because Rendlesham's famous for that as well. And it's gone. It's just the campsite's gone. I mean, it's odd because it's supposed to be open access to the public is very important. They always say, the Forestry Commission. But no, we'll have a look in a minute. Derek will show us where this place is. Is it close to that bear patch, the ball patch? Which
it's right beside the runway.
Yeah, that's Woodbridge Runway, of course, is where there's this big ball patch. You can see it on the map, also on the overhead, and there's a very high radiation level there for some reason. We're getting close to Woodbridge now. This is a town near RAF Woodbridge and former RAF Woodbridge and Bentwaters. And you may remember this from the previous videos I made here. I'll put links in the description box to them. The ones I did with Derek and also with Tino and Larry when we came here that day in 2017. And yeah, we were, and it has look at that signboard there, Woodbridge Historic Town. Yeah. For Sutton Hoo, yeah, there's also there's a very old community. There's an old early medieval community here called Sutton Hoo. It's very well preserved, considered to be one of the finest preserved early Anglo-Saxon settlements in England. So, you know, there's some politically incorrect things associated with the house I'll maybe talk to you about another time. Okay, we've entered Rendlesham Forest now. We're heading towards the Eastgate car park. There's horses in front of us, as you can see, because like Rendlesham is famous for horse riding and outdoor recreation, like I say, dirt biking and cycling and things. And but yeah, off-road cycling is very popular around here. But what was you wanted to show us, Derek?
Right, this is where I was doing the healing. I'll quickly stop here and show you.
Okay.
There's one gate, see the signs here?
Yeah.
The gate. But look at this is the quick path beside the runway, yeah?
Yeah. Oh my God, look. No entry.
And they've put signs,
See the signs there?
A big pile of earth and a fence.
Forestry work in progress. How long is that forestry work been in progress for? You see the fence there?
This has not me doing healing there, that's
Yeah.
what it's about.
Yeah.
But as you can see for yourself, the signs all up there.
Yeah.
They've been digging holes up there. They're taking soil samples and things.
Oh.
Nothing to do with cutting the forest down, which they say they're doing. But they haven't been doing that at all.
It's true you had a helicopter watching you as well.
Yeah, just before Christmas, 2 weeks before Christmas, a helicopter filmed me doing healing.
The end of the runway, you see the lights.
Yes. And they were filming me trying to help somebody. I was doing the healing. The lady's in a wheelchair and was sitting in a wheelchair looking at them and said, look, they're filming you. I was trying to bluff my way through it, saying no, they're just on a training exercise.
Come on, this was like this wasn't like this was specifically a military helicopter.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Here is the car park. This is the main car park by Eastgate, and there's always, I think there's people assembling there. Probably our crowd. Okay, this is the crowd. We've all arrived. I think most people are here in the car park. And there's Gary over there. You see, all getting ready for everything. And to give you a bit of try and get my bearings here. Let's get this map out. One sec, just opening the map. Right.
Have we got to get our balaclavas open? No, not yet.
Do you see where it says P there? Oops, you can't see where it says P, Folly House and P. That's where we are. The car park. Eastgate is just along this little road here. You're along that road there, and you get to Eastgate. And you can see I've actually marked this map. Do you see where the little cross there? That's the first night land. You go in here, you can see Holt and Capel Green. You can see there's the excellent Capel Green. So that's the sort of area. It's actually not. It's actually everything's quite close. Or something. So even though it's like 4 hours, we won't actually be walking that far.
This has never happened before. There's never been a paid tourism tour of Rendlesham Forest. There's never been anybody done what I'm trying to do today. So I appreciate you coming in. I've done small numbers because I don't want to have too many people. It's too difficult to control.
We're just beginning the tour now. Now, Gary's just given us some new information. I haven't actually read the entire book yet of Non-Human, which is Gary's book about the RFI. But he says it begins at the end of this car park, and I didn't know that because I thought it began with lights being seen from the lookout tower on a Boxing Day morning, and oh yeah, I could put something in my bag. One sec.
Back gate, you can see the fence there now. That is not the original gate. So here, they pull here onto the side.
There's Eastgate.
Forest looks a lot different.
Right, we're heading this way. We're heading down towards Eastgate now. Gary's just showed us where it all kicks off, so I'll just carry on along here. We've been here many times before, haven't we, Gary? That's Gary, Derek.
We have many times.
Yeah. As you see, Bublis's paradox is very, very much apparent here. It reminds me of the Isle of Man, actually. These trees are... When none of these trees were here originally, the actual forest we see today is not the same one, in a sense that the trees are all different, because the original trees were all destroyed in the Great Storm. The entire forest was wiped out. These have all been planted since. They're not Corsican pines because they've got a much thicker canopy that comes much lower. So in 1980, Gary's explaining there'll be a lot. You'd had a better view in the woods, aren't you? Because there'd just be tree trunks and no canopy. And they deliberately pruned the trees quite low so that the lookout tower could get a good view from the lookout tower over there, and RF Woodbridge could get a good view over the top of the forest. This here is the Eastgate, from which the title of the famous book Left at Eastgate emerged. Larry Warren, Peter Robbins' book. Of course, in the old days it would have been very different. There'd have been guard shacks and things like that, floodlights. Anyway, it is now still locked up. Yeah. It's all overgrown now. This was not the original Eastgate.
That's where the original Eastgate fence wasn't the carriage. Alright, so that's where the fence was. So imagine now, we'll all stand back, turn around and look down at this. Imagine there's no trees until you hit the main road where we've come from.
Yep, the original Eastgate was, there's a blast wall a little bit further on, and it's just there. You just see that over there. But that's where the original Eastgate was, and it wasn't manned all the time. It was only only now and again. And Gary's just talked to us about several other events. For instance, Laurie Riefeld saw a zigzagging object at the end of the runway. This was all before the main event in 1980, and there was no trees here, at least for about 300 feet on either side of this road. It's all overgrown since, but it was all grassland because the people on the base had to get a good look, and the trees were lower because they were pruned. It's easier to see things in those days. And right now, also you mentioned Steve Wagner. You might have heard that name before. Larry's interviewed him. He also had a sighting very similar to the Penistone Burrows one. It happened a few days earlier, and he reported it and got into trouble for wasting the CO's time and stuff like that. But so it seems that, you know, the personnel here were not encouraged to report strange things. There was not much incentive for it. As we carry on down here. Gary actually asked me not to film his lecture segment, so I won't. I mean, I could be a dickhead and I could say, "Oh, Gary, I'm on a public highway. I'm in public. I can do what I want." But no, this is a paid event. I've paid to come and see. He's hosting it, so I'm not gonna dispute that. There's the blast wall there. Eastgate was over there. None of this undergrowth with these trees were here, and there was a clear space around the base for security purposes. So it's interesting new information there. It appears, I mean, Derek will tell you that. Derek's ahead. Derek will tell you this because he knows a lot about it. But This Christmas 1980 event was not the only one of its kind, by far. You see these giant aircraft hangars? They're called hardened shelters. Gary's just telling us about another incident that happened in this area in July of 1980.
Yeah, I was intrigued on what that was.
Yeah. I wonder what this building...
How many mils on a compass?
What is that thing?
It's just a tag that just says how many mils on a compass.
Oh, that's strange. I wonder what this building was. Looks very
I
old.
know, I wondered that.
May well predate the base. Maybe base is World War II. Gary was actually talking about the kind of legal loopholes you had to jump through to get this going. I mean, he sent me a copy of the risk assessment form he had to fill in. I had to fill in risk assessments when I was a hospital porter, because I was a back care facilitator. And it was really so much red tape he had to deal with to organise this tour. Really excessively so when you look at Forestry England and see how few regulations there are with using these woods. You literally have, unless you're riding a horse or got a motorbike, you can just do what you want in here. They say things like don't leave litter, don't light fires, usual country code things. So why were so many obstructions put in Gary's face? Sorry about the noise. I think there's like a track race going on behind us. But I thought it was very suspicious. He just showed us what he just talked about was some more extra cases. Like there was a case where an invisible entity appeared to appear inside the base, and it even left a footprint on the airframe of one of the aircraft. Because they're very delicate, those aircraft. They don't look it, but they are. And
it's all pretty flinking and fascinating, really, isn't it?
Very, yes, it really is. I'm really enjoying it. It's lovely weather for it as well.
Yeah.
Now I heard about the incident where someone shot at them, because it's in Larry's book. He said that it was a few months before, or a year or so before his experience, someone started shooting at them from in the woods, and no one was hurt, but it did some damage to an aircraft apparently, and the police never found out who it was.
Well, I do
it was someone off the base.
Sort of you know how Lost in Space and all of those programmes were sort of preparing us for where we are now. But there are a lot of TV programmes that are almost preparing us for that disclosure, aren't they?
Oh God, yeah.
Like Stranger Things and cutting through energy vibrations and seeing the next dimension as you have in the woods here.
Yeah.
And I have in my bedroom.
I think there are powerful figures now, right? We call them white hats or whatever, who are opposing the Illuminati. They're opposing Illuminati rule, and they're becoming more and more apparent. They're becoming more and more. They have more and more clout. So we end up with, for example, there's this drive to end the truth embargo, which has been enormously successful. It seems that the powers that be are not that powerful anymore. They don't have the clout. They don't have the ability to exert their will that they used to and just shut down everything.
Yeah.
They don't want talked about.
Yeah.
Like stuff that Gary's mentioned. I mean, he mentioned I was really surprised that there was more strange events in the woods. So it's like Derek always said. What happened in December 1980 is just one of many strange things that have happened in this area.
Yeah, absolutely. That's another question. Why this area?
That's a good question, Derek. Why? Special like this?
Because of it is an ancient site that people energetically are drawn to, isn't it? Because of what's that place just down the road?
Sutton Hoo.
Sutton Hoo. Yeah.
Of
course, it isn't just this site. I've had an experience in Beverton. Yeah. It's everywhere, and I think it's based on your own frequency. So when your own frequency changes for whatever reason, then you can see different frequencies. That's all.
How do you feel about being on Panmo TV, my video? You won't have to, it's alright.
No, it's fine.
It'll be on YouTube as well. Yeah, you don't have to, it'll be on YouTube if you want to be on it. Please, you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, it's Angie. Here's Angie. That's the voice you've been hearing, this lady called Angie, who I've just met.
That's my voice was on there anyway then.
Yeah, but now you're on there too, yeah. Okay. This all fascinating stuff that Gary is telling us now.
Yeah.
And I'm learning some new things. I've not read the entire book yet, you see, so I'm looking forward to... Who's coming tomorrow? Who's coming to the one tomorrow? Is it the same one over again? Is he going to do the same thing? I think.
Yeah, I think it's exactly
It's
the
gonna be-
same.
oh,
isn't it?
right.
Back to back.
I didn't know that actually because I booked to go to both days. I thought I was going to be a part 1 and a part 2, but I think it's that's all right. Well, I don't mind seeing the whole thing again.
Yeah, no.
That's all right. I'll meet some more people, you know.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
that's all right with me. Yeah. But it's it just goes to show though that I mean there's that Lantern Marsh, and I know that's an album by Brian Eno. It's the ambient music composer, but it's also a place not far from here,
Is it?
across the river and on the
Is it?
yeah, and it's near the signals testing station,
Oh, right.
and where do they get the name Lantern Marsh from? It could be because of the lights that are seen there, the will-o'-the-wisp,
Maybe.
the strange lights,
And of course,
which are very like what Colonel Holt saw.
Yeah. So, have you had a direct encounter with a being from a different frequency? Let's put it that way.
I've seen strange things which I can't explain. I can't prove what they are. But so, for example, I woke up one day in my bed and I sat up and there was a little boy kneeling on the floor,
Yeah. So that's spirit.
sort of glow,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
Sort of glowing figure, translucent.
Again, that's a frequency, isn't it?
Yeah.
So when we leave our physical bodies, my belief is we just change our frequencies, not actually die. We just
Yeah.
change our frequency. And
Yeah.
then when our frequency, if we're still in our body, is elevated for whatever reason, might be grief, might be something else, you can see it.
Yes, I think that's true. Yes, I think that's very true.
It's my truth.
Yeah,
Doesn't have
I
to
mean,
be anybody else's truth.
well, not everyone believes that, but I think that's actually likely. So I'm interested in spiritualism and psychical research as well as ufology.
Right.
I'm interested in those things too. It's very spooky in these woods.
Do you think so?
Yeah,
I don't find it spooky at all.
you don't know, I do.
I don't find it spooky now, but we
Yeah.
come last night.
And I bet it was last
And
You were
night.
up here
And,
last
like, I
night.
spend a lot of time in woods on my own at night, and it doesn't usually, but like the air felt thick. It kind of felt, even though it was pitch black, it was like you were looking through felt like you were looking through a glaze. It was really strange. I've
That's
not
the
experienced
frequency,
before,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was thick, it was
It's
dense, but not in a dense, energetic way. Like I've been to like Edinburgh Bridge and them areas, that's got a really dense, weird energy.
Yeah.
Here, it wasn't. There was no feeling of dread. It was just a feeling of I was waiting for something.
Something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a powerful forces around you. I can feel them. I can just sense it. It's not unpleasant. It's easy. It's very, very.
Well,
Esoteric.
energy's been my world for the last 25 years, but it's certainly taken, because I've been a healer for that long. And as you know, I worked in the hospitals, but working at home, one of the things that something happened to me that I've got on tape is levitation in one of my clients.
Oh, Derek was talking about that.
Yeah. So that's amazing. And after my experience in the bedroom where I did see something from a different frequency, then the levitation got stronger.
Right. You alright, mate? So
Struggling
Derek's walking a bit slow. So
Yeah, and
I'll catch over. But Derek mentioned that you had that. You saw that.
yeah.
That's quite. I've heard of things like that. Like my
Yeah,
friend Brian.
but that's not spooky. That's 0-point gravity. So where the energy's coming through the channel
Yeah.
goes to a faster vibration, goes into a body that is of a lower vibration, changes it, and up they go.
Yeah, whenever I say spooky, I don't mean frightening and unpleasant. I just mean ghostly and
Yeah.
strange. And here we are back at the end of Eastgate Road. We're walking along very carefully now in single file along this major road. Well, this motorway, wherever it is, it is a public road and traffic's coming along regularly. So Gary's going to take us to the next place, which is what's called the staging area. And the weather's lovely actually. It's bright. It's also there's a bit of a breeze up, so it doesn't get too hot. Plenty of shade in the trees, so it's perfect weather actually. Although one chap just told me he prefers it when it's raining. I can't say I agree with him. But these are the trees that have all been planted since the Great Storm, and it's sometimes doing like neat rows. Other times they just higgledy-piggledy like this. This one that's fallen over. Of course, as you know, there's always signs that if something strange happens in the woods, there's always a lot of signs that that's the case. For example, Smilog Woods, as you're aware of over the Pentech incident. that is very obviously unusual things happen there. So Gary's trying to get everyone to keep up. He's setting a very fast pace and not everyone can keep up. So we're just doing as well as we can at the moment. There's our troop ahead of us. We're now leaving the main road. And see, they put these bollards up to stop people parking. And then we're entering this staging area. And it says here, we're going right into the forest proper, off the main road once again on the other side. There we are, see, there's that little junction there.
This is a track that will take you now right through.
He told us that, and I already knew this, that this is not the original road leading left off the main road from Eastgate. But when you turn right and come to Eastgate Road, the original road is actually further that way, closer to the actual Eastgate Road. And Gary says there are actually 4 pillars which indicate where that original road was. It was very similar to this one, pre-1987, but it was like in a completely different place, well, a few hundred yards that way. And so it would be very similar to this. It's a logging road. Now we're heading. I know that the first night sighting was somewhere around here, although the exact point is difficult to ascertain in post-1987. Amazing, this is like open. I remember this actually. Yeah. I remember this glade. We've got this like massive glade here, in the trees. A couple of like loose stumps. Someone just mentioned it. It reminds me of the Tunguska blast. And it's like a real. It's like all. It's very strange to have it all open here.
You're going to work tomorrow, mate?
And in this side there's the dense trees. It's got a very atmospheric location actually here. From that.
On original map there was a little path going that way, but maybe 3 foot wide. A bit like that, not as wide. Yeah? It certainly wasn't like this, like a well-worn area.
It feels much more rugged here, like we've really left the beaten track.
These are little country tracks. Whilst supposedly Holt and his team were out in the forest on what is now night 3, 27th.
Lots of ponies here.
And Holt gets involved, supposedly. When that happens, all the vehicles are out here, they can walk through the window, up to the field. There's no fences on there. Step over, 2-strand barbed wire that was about 4 high. And it actually got them up there. Alright?
The forest is famous for horse riding as well as UFOs. It's an original tree there. Survived the Great Storm. See how thick the canopy is compared to these trees.
Broken the branches off as it came down through that thick undergrowth and went into the field. And then as it took off, it was broken.
This was the staging area, despite the fact the paths have changed, and that this tree was an important marker because that's. Well, Larry remembers that tree because that's when they had to go into these woods and search. They had torches and they had a search pattern, but strangely enough, there was this mist was here as well. And Gary describes how one of the people had these experiences with the mist. Very, very odd. And now going further eastwards now towards Capel Green. Okay, this pathway gets narrower. This bit actually is not marked on the map from the staging area to where we are now. There's a pathway that. They should have been added to the map. Presumably the surveyors left it off because it's been around a while. It takes us further east, and it wasn't there. It wasn't actually there in 1980. But you see, there is an open space ahead. You can probably guess where we're going. You may remember it from the video I made with Tino and Larry back in 2017. I'm heading for I think the most important part of this story, which is Capel Green. Remember from the 2017 film, there's this fence here. Some people say it's a deer fence. It's not, because it would have a shorter fence inside it to stop the deer jumping over it. Just Derek and a couple of others come in. Okay. But you can still just see Cape of Green through there. This fence, the only reason I think it can possibly be here is to keep away UFO hunters. That's literally why it's been set up like this. Just show it from this angle here. See, to go somewhere to nip in over here for a bit. But look, you can't actually get through at all. There's no barbed wire, but it's obviously intended to prevent people getting in here. It's set up for the UFO purpose. We're heading up this way now because the Forestry Commission, as if you remember, put a special sculpture of the alien as a UFO, so we'll be getting to that very shortly. It used to be just 3 little stumps in the ground. They built a big black metal structure. I don't even know if it's still there actually. We'll soon find out.
Is where Colonel Holt showed me where the original landing site was that he was told, taken to on the night, 2 nights after. It's in this area. The forest looked a lot different. Alright, so it's in this area here. And I talked about 2 marker trees. And I'm going to see if I can find them, but the undergrowth is this. At the edge of the field there are 2 oak trees. The first one is like from 2 twin stems. And from the field side you can see it in daylight. And I can show it on photographs. I'll show you the photograph afterwards. I'll email you the photograph. And that was the first tree that Holt saw that was glowing because of the mist on the ground, and it was lit up for some reason, and he was told during the field during the corner. So he remembers
Breaking the rules slightly by going off the path, but we're only taking a little quick trip up to the fence where there are several large oak trees which of course play a major role. They're landmarks that are still there today from 1980, that some of the witnesses remember, like Larry Warren, Colonel Holt, people like that. There's actually some fallen trees around here, so you've got to be careful where you're going. Thanks, mate. Cheers. Right. Good job I've got very expensive shoes on. So, now I remember we saw these when we came with Tino, but we didn't come. I think it was September we came here. The undergrowth was a bit thinner. The undergrowth is very thick here in August. So maybe winter's a better time to visit here. Actually, you see more in winter. And there's literally ferns everywhere. They're like 6 or 7 feet high ferns. No. I'm just going to hold my camera up. Maybe you guys can see more than I can now.
Yeah.
Can't see very much, unfortunately. But,
to climb up there where you're coming in.
oh, that's okay. Thanks very much, but it's all right now. It's okay. I have something that might amuse you. We're not the only people in the woods today, of course. We're not the only people using the forest. When we get around this tree, there's a fallen tree in our way. Of course, I showed you the horse riders. There's ramblers and people like that. And it's quite funny because there was this family walking past us when we were at the station area, and they sort of went round us and they said, "Hope the aliens don't get you." Somehow they knew what we were doing and what we were there for. See, we've got round the tree here. Those of you who remember the previous 2 videos I made here, you know there used to be a bench there, a park bench, and there used to be an information board. It's gone.
Yeah, the other
Has this happened elsewhere?
Yeah, Bender's bench has gone as well.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That was a special one, wasn't it?
The third bench you put there, that was good.
Why are they taking them away? Is it because they want to reduce interest in the subject? I mean, somehow the people who passed us and say the aliens are going to get you, they knew what we were here for. So there is still some infamy associated with the UFO event in this area, even though, like I said, the information boards are gone, benches being removed. Is the Forestry Commission now trying to suppress what it used to promote? I don't know. Okay, now we're approaching the sculpture. This is known as the lemon squeezer for obvious reasons. Unfortunately, it actually does not resemble what was seen by the witness in any way, nor is it in the right place. But the Forestry Commission spent £10,000 getting a sculptor to build this in stainless steel. And there are sideboards here.
So this is a 30-minute break. I've done it later because it's the first time I've done the tour and I'm doing the timings as per the things that I wanted to cover. This is the logical place to stop now on the tour.
But these symbols do not resemble what we're seeing. Look, this is the only signboard. This is a signboard is still here, which is nice. Do not climb on the sculpture. Oh, right. I bet everyone does though. But this is the lemon squeezer.
I think somebody just hired by the Forestry Commission to do a sculpture, and whilst the sculpture leaves a lot to be desired in some ways because it's got these 5 notches on the side that's supposed to represent what Jim Pennison saw, they're nothing like them. There are some real problems about Jim Pennison because his pocketbook didn't turn up until 17 years after the event, when it turned up in a documentary. Oh, yeah. Now, if he'd have had it when he retired, I think in 1993, why didn't he produce it then? That kind of worries me as a former detective. It's a red flag. But anyway, the pictures are that it was a 3 metre by 3 metre black glass-like object.
There are actually a few blackberries out. I've got one now.
So you'd be immediately thinking, even if you were sceptical, where was it?
Not many. They're still quite fresh. Some of them. Not ripe. We've left the lemon squeezer now. We stopped for a little. We stopped for a half-hour break and had some food and drink. And now we're heading to a different spot around Kensal Green. Because Gary's assured us there is a spot where you can. There is a spot where you can get a good view of the field, which you can't from here. It's just all. It's all covered in undergrowth and trees. Hello. Well, they didn't guess what we were doing here.
Across the field now without fencing. Right, so what you're looking at, I'll move out of the way so you can take your pictures, is you're looking at the far end of the field. So this is the corner point. Now, I want to point out a few things. When we walk a bit further, you'll see that these trees here, you won't be able to see them there, but from where I am now, look to your right, and as we keep going that way, there's 5 or 6 original trees.
See these big ones?
Yeah, the bigger ones are.
Those big ones.
Trees that we have now. So these are original trees that were here. Better perspective, and you can see the edge of the field. So imagine in the middle is where that landing is. The farmhouse is literally behind these trees, just there. And it's odd that you can't see it, but it's so much overgrown now. But you can see it when you stood opposite. Now, can you see the 2 marker trees? If you just come this way slightly, stand in front of me, you'll see 2 oak trees. Yeah? Yeah. Look on those big sides, they're like, not many branches on them, but they're on this side of the tree. The first one is Holt's marker tree. So Holt stood there, and then with the factor that pointed where the original landing site was to Bill Burns and his film crew. That is opposite the farmhouse. You see the Gafford tree. That's it. If you stood by that tree looking inward across the field, that's where the farmhouse is. Alright? Yep. Keep going down, approximately another 80 to 100 metres, you'll see another big tree. That's the double oak tree that Larry Warren saw, that was glowing when he got told to go into the forest and to go into the field and join the cordon around the glowing nest. He said, I didn't know why, but he said part of the branches were illuminated.
Pine cone as a souvenir. I'll see if I can plant it somewhere. I don't actually have a garden, but I'm sure I can find somewhere nice to plant it near where I live. Gary was just telling us that about the Orford Nest Lighthouse and about how that's constantly used as an excuse.
Yes, I know, I read it.
Yeah, it's pathetic. It's superficially, you're really only very superficially persuasive. The Orford Nest Lighthouse is, of course, no longer with us, which is an enormous shame. But I mean, they were trying to raise, I think, £3 million to build a cofferdam around it, which would have protected it from land erosion, which they couldn't get the money. And to be fair, I mean, really, they dismantled it because within about 20 or 30 years it would have been washed away by the sea anyway. So they dismantled it now, but they have preserved the light tower and things like that for museums. So the top part of the lighthouse still has been saved, but it's not standing where it was. But as Gary said, that could be because they don't. What Bill Hicks said about JFK? You can't get to the window in the school book depository because they don't want all Americans going there and going, "No fucking way!" And I think they're worried about us doing the same with the lighthouse, actually doing the measurements, which would need to be done, and realise that the actual excuse, Ridpath and Phil Kettle's excuse, is meaningless. Yeah, it's one of the farm outhouses here at the field, onto the other end of Capel Green now. There's the market trees there, see them there.
The people that were there are not there now. This is the game people's house. So if you just come this way, and we're going to walk single file on our right, facing oncoming traffic because it's a public road.
I bet you could tell a few stories. It's the gamekeeper's house there.
Alright, so if we wait here and then I'll talk to you. You stay over there, I'll look across the road.
This is the mysterious farmhouse. Let's have a look. They may not want me to look at. No one's in right now. There it is. By the way, don't bother trying to knock on their doors, alright? You can ask them any questions, because many people have tried that and they don't answer. They just tell you to go away. I know a lot of people who've tried it.
The beam came down.
Okay.
And when you hear him referring
That's
to
where the beam
creek
came down.
on the audio tape, we went across a creek and the water was raging, and on the other side of the creek we went up an incline into the field. Well, when you get to that point there, by that overhanging tree, that's where the stream goes underneath this road. Goes out into the finger that goes out into the field. And at that point there, you can see now that there's just a little trickle. Nearly 43 years later. But in 1980, it was probably 3 foot deep. Now, take your photographs if you want to take photographs.
Let these people go through.
Remember what I said to you about the marker tree? See the bare branches? That is Holt's marker tree. Guess where it is? Opposite the farmhouse. Now look down, can you see another bare oak tree? That's Larry Warren's marker tree. Go down the line, so that's Holt's marker tree. Opposite the farmhouse, go to the left, you'll see a double oak. That's Larry Warren, so that's where he actually, there's the end of the finger, the middle of the finger is the landing zone. This is the best view you're going to get.
That's it, that's where it happened.
Take the picture.
Tempted to go over there,
See
but...
what I mean about the marker trees are important.
Run around naked and things.
And don't forget, from the landing site...
You've got me drunk enough.
Is that going too far?
I'd have to have a few pints first.
Looking back to the forest, it was 45 degrees.
This is Capel Green, guys.
75 to 100 metres back in the forest.
Look at that.
So it wasn't in that corner at all.
This is it's undergrown onions
Right,
here,
so
apparently.
you are now looking at the field from the best vantage point. Marker trees are important. Yellow fat. Warren remembers going into the field.
You can actually get to the landing sites there. You can actually see the onions in this onion field. I can actually, believe it or not, I can smell them. You can smell onions here.
All he heard was,
They've been harvested, but there are a few left.
and then he sees this red ball of light stop over the
Amazing
mist.
place. I film this as well as I can, but we're actually, a lot of it's on the crease of the map there. See where it says Capel Green? To the top left, we're going up this path here, which is that double dotted line leading to the left of Capel Green. Now, as you can see, you can just see where the X is. That's where my estimate for the first sighting was. just to the northeast of that, there's a building. Can you see it? There's a building just there, right in the middle of the woods. Now, I'm curious to see what that is. It's literally... It doesn't seem to be accessed by any paths, and it's about a couple of 100 yards off to the left of us. Well, it will be in a short while. So I was curious to see what that is. Maybe we can find it with muon spectrography or something. But yeah, I'll let you know if I see anything. This is a Foley Road, Foley House.
Airman Michael Stacey Smith, who was one of the precursors.
The Surfers Union from Montauk, 1956 Long Island. That's an amazing t-shirt there, and I'm sure regular viewers will get the reference. That's the end of the tour. Gary's just doing a little meet and greet and sign and everything, and Derek has a copy of Non-Human, which his lordship, I believe, has signed for you.
Yeah.
So, that'll be worth a lot of money in a few years, mate, I tell you.
Well, you never know your luck.
How are you feeling?
All right, yeah, just tired.
You've done magnificently today, because I know you were struggling, and I want to say well done, mate, well done.
Smoking doesn't help, but
Hey, no worries, mate. No worries. So we're gonna head off now. It's been a wonderful day, really, really good.
I just have a seat and then we'll hit it, yeah?
Yeah, and then we're gonna head off. So yeah, but thank you, Derek, for giving us a lift and everything. Much appreciated.
No problem at all.
I very much enjoyed it. I'm just waiting for my friend Joe to come pick me up and take me to Ipswich. So when he's here, I'll be on my way back. And the weather has been delightful, and Gary's been very lucky with the weather. Very, very lucky indeed. I do hope there'll be more events like this. Now, what I'm curious about is there's a pillar somewhere along here on the far side of the road. I want to have a look at it, because apparently what happened was there was a logging road to the left. And when you hear about them going left at Eastgate, they come out of here. They come out of that road I just entered, where the car park is now, straight out the Eastgate Road, and then they take a sharp left. Apparently somewhere along here is where the logging road used to be. Now in the Great Storm, everything was destroyed. All these trees are new, so the entire forest was basically a blank slate. And I just keep looking on my shoulder because my lift will arrive soon. But somewhere along here, and it won't be far, there are some pillars. There's some metal pillars which indicates where the old logging road used to be. And Gary says they're along here somewhere, they can't be far. I think I've got time to go and search them out. Or maybe not, I think that might be my lift. But anyway, they're along here somewhere. I'll find them one day. And this here is my certificate. The inaugural Non-Human Rendlesham Forest Book Tour. Conducted by Gary Heseltine, who was obviously a doctor in his previous life. Certificate of completion presented to Benjamin Jones on the 19th and 20th of August 2023. I'm the only one who's got both days.
You, the voter. And believe it or not, a letter written to a Minister of Defence or a Prime Minister saying, this matters to me, it matters to me because ... It really matters if this starts becoming part of the forefront.
I've just been watching old RC there. It is now Sunday morning, and I'm here at Derek's house, and with little Blue there. Hey Blue. Derek's had to go out to work, so I'm on my own in the house, but someone's going to give me a lift to Rendlesham Forest at 10, so it's in about 3/4 of an hour's time. Yeah, and looking forward to the second day of this tour. Now, I say second day, but it's actually not the second day. The tour is only one tour, and Gary's done it 2 days. He's going to do the same tour today as he did yesterday with a different group of people. Now, I didn't know that when I booked the ticket. I didn't check, silly me. So I went and bought 2 tickets for the same tour. One for the Saturday tour, one for the Sunday, thinking it was like a part 1 and a part 2. So I'm going to go, and Gary's going to do exactly what he did yesterday, probably. So that's not too bad. I mean, the thing about it is, once I realised I'd made my mistake, I didn't go and refund my ticket. I thought, well, I might as well go to both. And I'll go to both, and I will, I might meet some new people, because, I mean, part of the fun of these events is talking about UFOs to people who don't think you're nuts. So I'm going to go there and talk to some new people, maybe meet some people I already know who are going to be there. Derek was the only person I knew there yesterday, which surprised me, so maybe there'll be some people I know, people I haven't seen for a while. So that'd be nice. Yeah, it's Sunday, it's 21st, which means, is it 21st? Because it's, of course, well, whatever day, it's the FIFA Women's World Cup final, which means the Lionesses are going to make a run for the cup, which means, I mean, I don't think anyone who's bought a ticket will stay away because of that. But probably, you know, there's going to be, I imagine the roads will be quite quiet, which will be nice. There'll probably be fewer people wandering around the woods. It'll be a bit more spooky, a bit more 411-ish. So yeah, but Gary, of course, is upstaging the Lionesses, which of course is something to be proud of. Anyway, guys, going to be heading off soon, so I'm going to go and get ready. I'm actually not going to film today's tour. I did a little bit of a reportage on yesterday's tour, even though Gary wouldn't let me record his speeches. I won't be doing that today unless something new and interesting happens. So one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to try and find those bollards he talked about where the original logging road was. So I might be able to find those, and that'll be quite interesting. So anyway, going to head off there soon. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm in a car with Joe, my friend here, and he's driving me up to Rendlesham Forest because Derek is working, like I said earlier. And there's a very strange building ahead. It looks like an airport, and there's the air traffic control tower. But I don't know exactly what it is, but it's very, very strange looking. I'm sure I'll think of some conspiracy theory to associate with this thing. I'll look it up later and find out what it is, or maybe some viewers want to tell me, you can put it in the comments section and save me the bother. Anyway, we're heading for Rendlesham Forest. It's about, what is it now, just gone 10 o'clock, so the build-up for the football will be on. The Lionesses versus the Senoritas, or whatever they're called. And all the UFO nuts in the world will be turning their backs on it going to Rendlesham Forest, which ironically is actually very similar to what I did, if you remember, in Bath. Because you remember I went into the pub and the football was on and I had my laptop open watching the hearing. Yeah, history repeats, gents and ladies, history repeats. Well guys, I'm off the coach now. I'm heading on the long walk home, but it's not that long actually. I've done a lot of walking today, so I'm quite glad. I'm actually getting the bus from County Road. Yeah, that's betraying my hospital portering instincts, but there you are. I've done so much walking today, I think why not? Well, it's been another great day in Rendlesham Forest. It's been a great weekend. I'd like to thank everyone. I'd like to thank Gary Heseltine, Jane, his partner, everyone who was there, Derek, and everyone else, and Joe, and all the people who made this happen. Had a really good time. I think this was a great success, actually. I mean, Gary could have said me a feedback form. I could say all kinds of things. I mean, I suppose maybe this sort of tour would have been better in October, you know, when, or that kind of era, the autumn, when that was when Tino and Larry, when we did ours. And the reason for that is simply less undergrowth. It makes walking around easier. But you know, I mean, it was Gary's original plan was to have it in the spring, and then the Forestry England said no, you've got to give this so much notice and stuff like this. So we had to change the dates. I remember I had to change the bloody dates. Yeah, I do think Gary said, you know, it feels like someone didn't want him to do it. I know what he means. Yeah, but generally speaking, man, that was a very, very good tour. The weather was very nice in the end. The people were lovely. Everyone had a really good time. You can see they were all enjoying it. And we learned a hell of a lot, you know, we learned a hell of a lot from Gary's research and to have it just explained to us at the actual location was really amazing. Yeah, very, very good indeed. I've got one more trip to do on this summer tour of mine, and that is Awakenings Manchester, which is next weekend. So I'll invite you to accompany me there, although there'll be another video probably between now and then. In the meantime, thank you for watching Hapanwo TV. Hospital Porters, pride and dignity, stop the New World Order.